Hi, I'm David Summers with the Field Enablement team. And in the context of coaching and providing feedback to your team members, I want to provide a quick overview of another tool in your tool set, and that's the GitLab's Field Functional Competencies. I'm going to share my screen. I actually don't like the word functional competencies. To me, it sounds over-engineered. At the core of it, this is about critical skills and behaviors that allow field team members to be successful. As we know, first and foremost at GitLab is results, right? Everything goes, cascades from there. But results are often a lagging indicator. And it's something when providing feedback and coaching, it's not specific enough. It doesn't address a specific behavior. So as you watch the video on SBI, the important thing here is to identify the specific behaviors that are going to lead to the desired outcomes and to the results that we all want. So it's important that, we look at the inputs like knowledge, skill, will, and the team member's capability to be able to demonstrate those desired behaviors, again, to lead to those desired outcomes. And it's those behaviors, consistently demonstrating those behaviors in an effective way, that'll lead to results. The other, this also provides, as you see here, common language around how we talk about critical skills and behaviors. It can also help with selection and interview process. So there are sample interview questions that that are available for honing in on or digging deep into specific behaviors that within your team are critical to have to be successful. Couple things here. This is the functional competencies are intended to complement the credit GitLab's values. So think about the GitLab's values are for every GitLab team member. The functional field competencies are specific to the behaviors that field team members at GitLab need to demonstrate to be successful. It's also worth highlighting that these are not role specific, and or job specific. So I'll say more about that in just a moment. So what are they? At the core, there's three functional competencies: customer focus, solution focus, and operational excellence. Each of these field competencies are supported by 4 behaviors. And these are outlined. Here's a one-slide summary of just everything in one glance, where you can see that specific skill is described. And a couple other things I want to highlight. These are functional competencies for the entire field organization. Now, each of these different behaviors are going to be more or less important based on your role, based on the team that you work in. In addition, each of these behaviors, based on the role you're in, will be expressed in different ways, right? So customer presence, right? Facilitating and customer presence, that for those working with customers, that's very much like, how are you facilitating the dialogue and moving things through the buying process, et cetera. Whereas if it's for a sales ops team member, that's around how they are having that same kind of dialogue and moving things forward with internal customers. So maybe that's not the best example, but again, each function you can decide, how do each of these skills come to life? How is it expressed for me and my particular role, my team? And then also which ones are more and less important based on the role. I'll give you another example there, right? For enterprise sales, relationship skills, and really building customer rapport, super important. Now that's also important in commercial sales, but for SMB, maybe less so, since it's more of a transactional model. I'll keep going through here. These are, again, just to make it a little bit easier to consume of the behaviors and descriptions for each competency. It's also worth highlighting that we've aligned the proficiency ratings with GitLab's enterprise-wide performance ratings. So developing, performing, and exceeding. All right, so now I want to show. So what's a practical application of this? I encourage you to, we recently did a self-assessment with the customer success team and the enterprise sales team, but I encourage you to have dialogue with your team. Ideally, each team member can assess themselves and highlight if they are developing, performing, or exceeding for each of these behaviors. And then what encourage them to do is to identify, hey, what are two behaviors, two or more, that you do really well, right? What are those strengths that you want to continue to leverage that are allowing you to be successful in your role? But then also, what are a couple that you can improve upon, right? And you might need to get more specific in some of these competencies and the underlying behaviors. So what are those things? And then the manager to assess the team member as well. And that can be part of just your ongoing coaching dialogue of continuing to play to the person's strengths, but also for the couple of skills or behaviors that they're trying to improve upon, bake that into a development plan, right? So that that person is working on it and they have a deliberate effort to continue to improve. Also, another great idea is to have accountability partners. It doesn't have to be your manager. It could be other folks within the team. But really focusing on, we heard from the engagement survey results that folks want, career development, professional development. This is a perfect way to have that conversation, right? To talk about, again, playing to your strengths, identifying a couple things this quarter, the next 6 months that you want to work on, and then figuring out, all right, how are we going to do that? Hope there will be some supporting learning and development courses, maybe some LinkedIn learning courses they can take. You might want to pair that person with somebody else that's particularly good at that skill or that behavior so that they can mentor or shadow that person, or just talk to them to get some advice. So again, you as a manager, having coaching conversations and providing feedback based on these critical skills and behaviors can help not only improve performance and drive the behaviors that are going to lead to those results, but also support professional development conversations that you are having with your teams. Thank you.